All right, we are back, and I think it's a good idea to have this broken down into a second, and we may do a third video. I was kind of hoping to get this all in one, but in order for me to get everything out the way I want to get it out, we'll see how long time gives me for this. So that's going to be the discussion of this segment, at least, and how much more we go. Is what is time? What is time, and why is that something that we're realizing is not exactly what we were told? Very, very important, because with everything that I explained in the first part, without the comprehension of what time is, you are missing half the recipe towards change, towards manifesting change. You're missing half of the recipe. Because and I see, I don't know exactly if I got the right words to explain it, but I'm gonna kind of basically lay this out. Universe, God, whatever, has engineered into our materium or physical manifestations this thing called the buffer of time. And there are a few people who have done videos to try and explain it, but I don't think my understanding of how that works is properly done. Maybe I haven't read the right book yet, but I get a sense, based on my own experiences and my own discernment of what I'm experiencing, what it is and how it works. So I'm going to give this a big stab at it and trying to put this into words, so hopefully, again, that you can see it different in your head and apply it, so that with the understanding of you being a transmitter receiver, of choosing vibration, that you make a choice in your thoughts and your words, that you are in control of what you manifest, and that it manifests via things that you want to create in your world, things that you want to do. If you understand that is all about what goes on up here and in here, that you have to use the tool of time in the equation. So, time. What is it? The simplest thing that I can explain, the simplest way that I can explain it, that I think might be the easiest to digest, is what we've been told about everything being on a segmented scale, or or what's known as a timeline, where everything happens tick tock, as we got a clock that's on the wall here. Thank you, Joan. Oh, might have to get rid of that. That ticking is just, it makes it hard to sleep. That tick tock, that's what that we have come to understand is time, is a linear progression, and that things happen on a timeline based on certain parameters. And what I want to say is, no, that's not correct. What we've been told about how time works is can't possibly be happening. So other than to say that what we know is time as far as the past versus the future versus now is something you just kind of gotta go up to that chalkboard and just wipe it clean. Get all that stuff out of your head. Let me try and present to you a picture so that you can see it up here in your head of how time works. And that is, and there are others that have gone into this very deeply for other reasons and other purposes. And Dr. Wayne Dyer, I think his name was, does a lot of work with the law of attraction and the discussions on it. He has explained that we live in the, what he quoted as, the ever-present now. The ever-present now. So, Erin, what does that mean, the ever-present now? Well, some of you may have heard Cliff High's recent discussion about the little bloop theory, which I kind of like the little bloop theory versus the Big Bang. I think that's more accurate. I don't know if I'd say that that's dead on. But he also talks about the creation and destruction of the materium at a high frequency, and I think he said something like 44 trillion, where it's 22 trillion times a second it manifests, the universe manifests, and then 22 trillion times a second it destroys. You have to think about it from a single frame, a single picture, because we think in pictures. I'm not sure if his description's 100% correct, but he's on to it in the concept of the cycles. Okay, so let's talk a minute about cycles, because what is energy? Energy is a loop or a circle. You've heard a lot about cycles here over the last few years. We've been talking a lot about cycles, for everything from the cycle of our planet around the sun, and everything, our seasons. We kind of measure time on this timeline that we've created to try and understand cycles. But what are cycles? Cycles are a circle, or if it's a circle in motion, it's a wave, right? It's an up and down wave. You see that, up and down, the peak and the trough. Everything works in cycles. Everything. That's why you've also heard it, and it even speaks about this. Again, I'll go back to the Bible. A season for this and a cycle for this, and the number of terms for this, and if you listen to the language of it, it tells you how it works. It tells you how things work. So we are a cycle, in as much as everything from how the blood flows through our body to the cycles of the production of cells and the division of cells, to the multiplication, to the death of cells, to the cleaning of the stuff out of your body. All those things are cycles. Cycles of days, cycles of the earth rotating, cycles of wavelengths of everything is a wavelength. So it's all about cycles. And I'm not sure if this is necessarily the correct way to say it, but it's a very close and good feeling way to express it. But it's kind of like turning a light switch on and off, on and off, on and off. So we have the we're here for this cycle, and this cycle is on at a point in time, from the big cycles that are easy for us to understand, but more importantly for the little cycles that we can't quite comprehend yet, because we haven't dived into that and explained or experienced or wrapped our heads around the understanding of manifestation. That's why I say in the law of attraction, it says we have a buffer of time, because what is thought? What is manifestation? Thought is the picture or the vision or the conscious creation for the materium, and you need the ability to refine that in consciousness. So whenever we come up with a creation, we need the ability to refine our creation mentally, emotionally. God, I was hoping I could get through this before that kicked on. Actually, I'm running on generator. I can shut that off. Sorry, I know many of you can hear and think past that, but I want it off so I can think. I have a hard time. I have a little bit of hearing damage, so it makes it hard for me to concentrate past noises like that. So let's see. We need, in the physical materium, we need attempts to perfect our creation, right? You know, we build a widget, and we think that this is the way the widget's got to work. Like you saw me building the blade, the saw blade sharpener. Okay, I understood concepts, but I needed to put it into a working setup to be able to make something that would complicated cam, lift, drop, and everything to make sure that thing follows the teeth. And you see those teeth. Those teeth are working in a cycle. All right, there's a down and up, a down and up, a down and up, and it's the same thing. They're everywhere. Everything is about cycles. So in order to work that out, it takes time, but it also takes time, or it takes multiple attempts to help perfect manifestations, and in the consciousness, and that also, how should I say this, is determined whether something is manifested or not, or whether it's just an idea, or whether we make something happen, is determined by two things. One is the clarity of the image that we have in our head. How well do we see this? Well, for people who've created things, and we want to create them, finding things that have been made that work are always the easiest way to do that. And trip back over to Kevin Trudeau, and he said, you know, when he asked, who do you listen to? How do you know who to listen to? And he gave a two-answer thing. He said, well, for one, you listen to your heart, because your heart or your gut, your consciousness, your vibration will tell you if you're in alignment with what you want. The other thing he said, which is got to be one of the most powerful things that you, all of you, and I, for me it changed my life, but if you pay attention and apply this to your discernment of your self-analysis, will be the most powerful thing that you've ever done, or one of, including understanding everything we're going to talk about. And that is, he would say, you listen to those who have succeeded at what you want to accomplish. So why would you want to reinvent the wheel if it's already been invented and it works properly? You know, it just doesn't make sense to have to sit down. Well, let's make something else that you can put on a transportation device that will get no. You don't reinvent the wheel. You invent something new. Oh, say like, you know, anti-gravity. You know, something that works off of a different way of motion, as opposed to just physically rolling you and allowing you to get over bumps, things that would want to block you because it's round. You know, you get off of it even further by not ever having those bumps because you're in levitation, gravity. You see where I'm going? So who do you listen to? You listen to those who succeeded. All right, so when I wanted to learn about how to make a rainwater collection system, I went online and I watched videos, and then I took my basic knowledge and tweaked things just a little bit. That's why I told you, or I tried to tell you in a lot of my videos, understand what's trying to happen here. Understand that you have a trash trap, and that what you're trying to do is collect the first water that falls off your roof because it's going to contain the dirt, and you don't want that going in your tank. With the bandsaw blade sharpener, understand that you need to have your pivot point so far away from your cam and so close to there to allow you more movement for your cam design over here. Understand those things. Well, understand this. If you're not succeeding in what you want in this world, one, go see if somebody else has succeeded at it so you can just do what they do, which a lot of you do. You go, you come to my videos to learn a bunch of stuff. But I don't see people applying these concepts across the board for everything because we have been compartmentalized in our thinking. So you're going to manifest and create things by creating a picture in your head of what you want and then refining it. The stronger that image gets, the more details that you can work out of it, and the better you feel about it. And I'm not going to talk about emotion in this video because emotion is the driving force to the final part of near the final part of the manifestation. I don't care if you feel good or feel bad. You will manifest that same feeling. The point is that the bad feeling is your judgment of whether you're going to like the results. I'll just leave it at that for now because we're talking about time. So if you start to see things as cycles, and that we are always living in the ever-present now, and that we're in this manifestation, we're in this manifestation, we're in this manifestation, and it is only our consciousness, our spirit, that can transition or travel from one manifestation to another. It is our consciousness that carries forward to the next cycle.
Base station backup battery is low.
Oh, hush up. Then you understand something that is very, very powerful. At least what I got was, Dr. Wayne Dyer always talked about living very, very powerfully in the now, and making sure that you're vibrating properly now. So the hard concept to wrap your head around about you only existing in now and now and now and now is the part that I think, and let's go into this for just a second, I think is what part of what the powers that be have done to help make us dysfunctional in our ability to manifest things that we want. Because we all have this power. We all have the ability to make and do anything that we choose to if we're willing to learn that recipe, to become teachable in the information, if we can allow ourselves to be humble to that, to humble to the lack of knowledge. And that's what we're here to do, is to learn about how things work. So the difference between the manifestation that you just did and the manifestation now is what we perceive as time. The difference in the cycle. The difference in the cycle from the sun making its motion, in its manifestation. And the night, and the moon, and the trees blooming, and then the leaves falling, and then it getting cold, and all of those cycles that we go through. The difference in that manifestation is how we consciously perceive the new creation. So the new creation happens. Then everything is thought about again, revised, a new creation happens. Then everything is thought about and revised, and a new creation happens. And if you don't revise your thinking, no new creation happens, or the same kinds of things keep recreating. That was a little challenging, but I think I got the right kind of way to express this. So, time, as I was saying, I think the reason why the power elite let me liken this. Let me liken this to electricity, okay? Because you got two kinds of possible electricity. A lot of people are talking about Tesla, and what he did for finding energy sources for us all to have that would be free energy. Cliff High is talking about it's all coming out now, and you know these gen sets that are using energy from the materium to just extract electricity, because we're running on electricity. And the differences between AC and DC and what those characteristics, because they have different characteristics, is what they can and can't do and so on. I think, and this is just my gut on why we were told to live in the past or in the future in our thinking, was because if we are told to live in the past and that we measure our now, if our now is measured by these previous manifestations over these cycles, then they could tap into extracting what comes from it. And that's creation. Your creation, or let's put it into the physical word, your labor, which is also expressed as money, okay, that they want to take from us via taxing, money printing. You see where I'm going with this? You understand how this works now. So if I can find a way to delineate, put on a line, this period between this cycle and this cycle, I can turn it into something that I can take from. How do I harvest your creativity? Oh, well, let's put it on a pay clock. You take your little card, you stick it in, go cha-ching. You started at 8:15 this morning and you didn't get off to 4:30. Minus that 15-minute break, and you've got so many hours. That's what I think happened in order to be in control of us. Now, this is just a theory. Now, some would have you believe that, oh, well, you know, man devised these calendars by watching the stars and the seasons, so they'd know when to plant things, and it was just the farmers who did that, so that they know when the seasons and the cycles would come, so they'd know better when to plant, and when to go fishing at certain times, and to keep track. No, I think people kept track of cycles for those kinds of reasons, but when it actually comes to our comprehension of time now, I think it was there's a little bit more that's played into it by the manipulation of the powers that be, as you now understand from my explanation. Let's harvest your manifestation in time. Let me harvest your labor, and I will do it by controlling the tempo, because that's what it is. You know, like the clock over here on the wall, tick, 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 tick. That is a tempo. Tempo. That is a frequency, and that in real terms is, how should I say this? Let me find the words. In the real manifestation, time is something that's fluid, that stretches and squishes. It's not always the same, because each and every one of us look at the word's etymology, perceive time differently based on different issues. You get into an argument and a fuss and a screaming, fearful moment with your wife, your husband, and you're having it out. Well, you didn't do this right. I mean, you do that, and you get into that kind of energy, and time can nearly stop in those periods of time. Time and the low frequencies, time can be perceived as, oh my God, we were arguing for 4 hours. Where did the day go? But it can also work the same way in the other ways. You go out and for a vacation, and you go up into the mountains to go skiing, and you spend the whole day on the slopes, and you've gone up and down and up and down, and you've had a good time, and fortunately you didn't fall and twist your ankle, and you've had a really good time. Time can freeze then as well, can seem like, or excuse me, time would feel like it flew by in that situation. Like all of a sudden, boom, where did a whole week went by, you know? Same kind of scenario. Perception, different for different people in our perception. So time, from a linear sense, didn't quite happen because your awareness of the change of cycles was different. However, with that comprehension, the true takeaway is where are you at? Because that is far more important to understanding. So let's talk about the future. Okay? As I stated before, we came here to experience contrast. Good feeling, bad feeling. We want to make a choice and choose the good feeling and be able to manifest something in the future. We came here to create and change something, right? So that change is what we see for the future. And for many of you who see what's going on, there is data and information coming into us from the news and from, you know, other things that are occurring in the soup that we're living in, because this manifestation is of one fluid thing, and we're observing. We have the ability to observe it because we have the ability to transmit and receive information in ways that we've never done before, like the internet and so on and so forth, cell phones, communication. We're able to do that. I'm not sitting out here in my patch of woods and you're over there 3 states away sitting in your patch of woods. We become, our ability to share our creations, share our observations, share that energy is a lot greater now than it has been before. And we are all concerned about future cycle manifestations. We're all going, and some of us are better at manifesting it than others. The whole goal of this, this discussion that we're in is to figure out how do we manifest something better. So we're all feeling this ugly stuff that's going on, and a lot more ugly stuff is making, and there's more creation and manifestation of even more ugly stuff. And the more I pick up this stupid thing here and I see some of the headlines, I'm going, whoa, that's even worse. And because I know what I know now, I realize that I really don't want to pay any more attention to that. And I scan through. Okay, but I gotta know. But I need to be able to make my choice. I just experienced that negative feeling because I observed some words that didn't feel good, right? However, I have gotten better, and I hope you can too, going, okay, that is not something I want to put my attention on because I live in the now. The law, and here we're going to make a transition into the next phase of this. The law of attraction states, that which is like unto itself is drawn. And it is one of the highest laws in the universe. It has nothing to do with whether you believe in God or not. Because a lot of people get that, no, that's not. I've heard a lot of discussion and arguments that the law of attraction negates there being a higher power. Well, if you believe in that, then that's some kind of cultism or something like that, and it's not. A lot of people have tried to refer to it as that, and it's not. The law of attraction is how the universe works. It is just a function of the way things work around us, and people who can be in any kind of religion can come to understand or stand under the knowledge of how the universe works and apply that to their self-improvement. Because if you can, great things happen. So, law of attraction. That which is like unto itself is drawn. Now, how does that work when it comes to manifesting? So we've gone over 2 points. The first point is this. You are the creator. You are a transmitter and receiver of frequencies. You create new frequencies, or you can live within the frequencies that you've experienced without the skill set of making the choice between the not good feeling and the good feeling, and you can continue to manifest this cycle of not feeling good because you haven't learned to make a choice. Because you don't want responsibility for the bad stuff. Somebody else did that to me. So, law of attraction. That which is like unto itself is drawn. How does that work universally? Well, it starts like this. A thought. I just experienced, I got a dull blade. I've got this I wanted a saw so I can go cut some boards. Why? Because I really want to work on those boards and make them into more beautiful things like apple presses. But now I've got a new thing, and I'm experiencing new things because I've got this bandsaw mill that it's going to be a tool. It's a tool, just like the law of attraction. It's a tool that allows me to create something better, and now I can make these beautiful wood, and now I've got a dull blade because I hit a rock or something, or it just wears dull. And I want to keep cutting. I enjoy this, but I want to keep cutting. So negative feeling, I can't cut no more. Positive feeling, I want to keep cutting. So I need to sharpen them. So I have to go learn from somebody who has succeeded at making their own, because I don't want to dump out $800-900. That's a lot of time, money, labor to acquire that, and I know I can do it better, quicker, faster for myself because I know I am a better, quicker, faster creator. So I learn how to do that. And I get the concepts down of how this works so I can apply it into making it myself. My bandsaw mill sharpener started as an idea. It started as a thought. Now, it's obviously a quick, easy thought to acquire. I didn't have to I didn't have to work hard to get that thought, because I know how fundamental knowledge, tools with teeth need to be sharpened. Saws and chainsaws, and I understand how all that works. I've already been there, but this is only a small step. So it is a small thinking manifestation, which only required a little bit of learning from somebody else who's tried a few things. And even in my experience, I've learned a few things that I can improve that even more. But it started as a thought. I had to think. I wanted to manifest in my hands. I wanted to manifest something that would sharpen that blade. And I worked through that process one thought at a time, and then it physically manifested. So law of attraction means you're seeing a vibration in your conscious mind. Then I thought about it in the ever-present now. That vibration was held. I held on to that vibration for many nows. Now I'm thinking about it. Now I'm thinking about it again. Now I'm thinking about it again. And now I'm thinking about it again. I keep thinking it. So my next little creation for that situation is I need to make a tooth setter. Because when you're cutting, you want one tooth to be vertical, one tooth to be tilted this way, and one tooth to be tilted this way. So you have these two side cutters, and then you have a center raker tooth. And you need to have that. In the last video that I showed you when I was doing the big red oak log, those first couple of blades that I had damage on, I didn't set the tooth. So the outside edge of the blade wasn't cutting, and so I was only cutting like this, and that's why the blade would ride up onto the log. I learned something by experiencing it, right? All of you do this. This is how the universe works. You experience it. You decide whether you want to keep and enjoy what you have because you like that experience, or you decide you need to change something. Okay? So this all works great when I can understand that when it comes to working on those things, but how do I apply that to my life? Well, the law of attraction, you have to understand this process. If you understand this process, and you can start to self-evaluate everything you say, everything you think, and everything that you do as a follow-up, because Kevin says 99.9% of manifestation is having your head in the right place, having the picture right, having all of that stuff right, and then you need an action step. You have to take the step. The action step seals the deal for the universe, and the universe says, you have vibrated this long enough, here it is. And it comes in. And sometimes there's a lot of action steps, and sometimes there's not very many. I have seen some of my biggest manifestations were like that, with me having to do almost nothing physically in this material. It was almost all thought, but it all requires an action. So, law of attraction states that which is like unto itself is drawn. So we go back to part 1 of this, and what I'm telling you is the thinking energy that you are doing, with the icing on the cake being the language that you speak. I mean, it says this in the Bible too. There's some really, really good stuff in there. There's some stuff that's in the Bible that's not so great, because it was written by man, and as Max Egan stated, why would you want to trust something that the king, who is family line to psychopathic pedophiles, why would you want to trust King George, who is in the family line of psychopathic control mechanism pedophiles? Why would you trust that? Well, once you start to learn etymology and understand what real words mean and what is being generated by the thought processes Well, you don't have that freedom that we were talking about with Charlie. We have servitude because that's what they were trying to create. So I think I'm getting close to wrapping this up, because I think I think I've laid out the concepts fairly well here, or simply enough. I sure hope so. Simply enough for you to see that if you don't like where you're living, or you don't like the world around you, you're the one who has to change, and you change by changing your focus on what you're creating. The one thing I wish I could help those that I've had in our community that I've gotten to know through this YouTube, the one thing I really wish I could help them with is to realize that when they come to me and they say, Aaron, I've got this problem. I got these overreaching people. They're tearing up my life. Or these horrible people over here in the hospital, you know who I'm talking to, are doing this, or this community over here who's kicking people off their land, and as we're seeing with creating these concentration camps over here, or I can go over issue after issue after issue. It even says it in the Bible. Lucifer, if you believe in a separate consciousness, which I don't, says that you have to make the choice. He doesn't. The evil can't come and get you. You have to make a choice to go with it. Same thing as these jabs. You have to make a choice. They're not going around grabbing people, throwing them to the ground and forcing them. People, at least right now. Later, maybe they do that, but at least right now, everybody who's getting it is pretty much getting it because they've heard, oh, this is better for me, or it's going to save my life. And they're making a choice because they don't know the difference. They don't know the bad feeling. But there's a lot of people that are seeing the bad experiences for them and going, that's not looking too good over there. There's some really bad reactions. That's starting to happen. It's happened in Europe in a few places. So we need, in this moment of now, the experience that you have observed, you need to decide whether this is something you want or something you don't want. If you don't want it, there is something you have to change. I don't know what it is, but it all depends upon that exact situation that you're in your manifestation. You have to take that and go, all right, what am I doing? You have to say this. What am I doing that's attracting this into my life? Because I am the creator of my manifestation, and I'm going to be responsible. Because that's what freedom is. Being responsible for every action that you do. That is freedom. If you're not responsible, then somebody else is taking care of you. You're in the care of somebody else because they are responsible for your actions. See, Charlie expressed it, but he expressed it from a point, how do I put this? He expressed it from a point with not understanding his own journey and not understanding that there are a bazillion other journeys that all of you have that don't understand the path. Don't stand under the knowledge of the path to get you where you want to go. And what I'm trying to do, God, I hope I'm getting somewhere with this, with you, for those of you who've made it through the first part and the second and this part, is show you that path. And the path is what you're thinking about now. What you're thinking about now. What you're thinking about now. What your subconscious is thinking about now. What you're speaking about now. This constant now. is your vibration. So if you're going yakky yakky yak about this horrible thing over here, what are you vibrating? And what do you expect to manifest in the way of emotional energy and physical manifestation if you're putting your attention on that negative thing and you're not choosing the positive thing? The world around you is a manifestation of what you are seeing in your head and hearing in your own conscious voice. This is why the elite got a hold of the majority of the people in this world and in this country at a very early age, because they know that at that point in time it has not been set, and that they can set that vibration early on. Now, Erin, but Erin. No, my name is not Irene. It's Erin. Thank you, so-and-so. Vibration. Your name is the most sweetest sound that you can ever hear. And when somebody messes it up, it's like nails down a chalkboard. So do your best to try and find ways to pronounce and use your vocal abilities, one, in vocabulary and understanding etymology, finding the right words to say what you want to say, always speaking them in positive terms. Law of attraction, quick little tip, quick side tip. Universe does not know the word no. I wonder why. I wonder why there are so many words in the English language that have multiple definitions. K-N-O-W, N-O. No. I can go on, and we can get into every one of these. Weak and weak. How weak are you? I can go on to that. I mean, Max Egan did a really good job of laying out just enough to really go, whoa, stir your mind. So here's the big question. Erin, I got all this muck that I'm dealing in, and I can't get rid of it. I got to go to court for this. I want to sue those bastards. All these. I can go through example after example of all the things that you guys that called me, and we've talked about all the issues that you deal with as to why your world doesn't change, and what you got to do to make it change. See, here it is. Here's something you also have to understand, because it is that, like I said at the beginning, is a bit of a catch-22 situation here. Or maybe I didn't. I know I was thinking it earlier. Catch-22 situation. So the catch-22 situation of the law of attraction is simply this. If you can get programmed into your brain these negative feelings that you constantly have to experience, it keeps those things present in your now. That you're now thinking about that shit over there. Okay? So law of attraction states that which is like unto itself is drawn. So if you've been screwed over, fucked over, messed with, cheated, all these bad things that have happened to you, well, you keep thinking about them. So there's a couple of individuals that I've spoken to about even coming here and being a part of this community that is growing, and you get give me these issues. Well, I have this I got to deal with. I have that I got to deal with. And more than a couple, actually. Now that I think about it, a lot. And here's the thing. The reason I am here manifesting my dreams because I did what I needed to change things around my world to make it happen. I wish I had known what I know now about how this universe worked, 30 years ago, 40 years ago. Because if I had, well, my journey would have been a hell of a lot easier. Let's just put it that way. A hell of a lot easier because I would have been willing to change myself. When you've gone through a life of one bad experience after another, you have essentially programmed yourself to continue to manifest those things. It's like being a drug addict. You are addicted to those feelings. Go watch What the Bleep Do We Know? Go watch that movie and how it works chemically within your body. I'm not going to get into the details, just for you to do the research, but the point is this. Those of you who I've talked to, and I love you all, I wish you all could come here and be a part of everything that I'm trying to create, because I want joy and happiness and loving creation and all those good things that each one of you have all expressed. I want to do this, I want that. However, your point of focus is not on what you want. So I'm going to leave it with this, because I think I've gotten pretty deep into this. Hopefully painted it well enough that everybody can go, oh, I really need to change that. That's kind of what I'm hoping I see walk away with, all of you walk away with, so that you can, because I want you all to be happy. I really do. But you have to know the right way to think as far as being positive, not focusing on what you can't do, because in doing that you're going to attract that stuff that you can't do. Well, I can't move. I can't change this in my life because I can't do this. Name your reason. Many of you have heard me say that one of the best gifts that I was ever given in my life was that from my mother. And that's something that she said to me over and over. So she programmed me. My mom saw that I had an aptitude early on to learn and enjoy things. And she would tell me over and over again, Erin, there's nothing you can't do. You can do anything you want to. She'd say, Erin, you can do anything you want to. And it's amazing that over my life I have tried and done and succeeded at many, many things. I've had a real fun ride. I mean, I've gotten to experience things that a lot of people in my life can't believe is possible, because the rest of society says, no, you get one thing to do, you go make a career of it, you get all your land, and you go get compartmentalized in that little cubicle, and that's all you do. That's what this social structure has done to everyone. You go be a nurse, and you don't learn how to be a doctor, you don't learn how to eat right. You go get the jab because you learn how to follow what your boss says. You know where I'm going? You see that? You understand? Why is it, Erin, you can go do this, and you can go make this, and you can go create this? Because I can. And I want to. And it brings me joy. And I want positive karma wrapped around my existence, because I know that there is a cycle to my physical manifestation here, and I might want to do it again pretty soon. You know, we're living in exciting times. You can either see that it is exciting because there's good change, there's lots of change, people are changing for the better. It's also a cleansing. There's a lot of people that can't handle the change. And that's going to be the biggest problem. My world changed and I didn't know what to do. and I can't survive. I'm a survivor, but I'm more than that. I'm a thriver because I see an issue. I see the contrast. I didn't like this. I like this. I want this. I'm going that way. And I make that change. One of the folks that I talked to here, been following my channel for quite a long time, and we were in the discussion of if we can get certain things here because we want a well here, so we want to put a well in, and well, if we can't find water from a well, can we move over here? And that's changed. That's one way of dealing with the situation. I mean, well, hell, I've done pretty good, but I tried to make this point because I wanted the concept understood. And that was this, and because some of you have also had this discussion with me. Some of you guys we've talked about, being in the safe place. And maybe we need to get out of the country, or all these issues that we deal with when it comes to getting away from the horrible stuff that's going to happen. And I made the statement. I moved a lot in my life. I moved here and I moved there, and moved here and moved there, and it's very hard to make that kind of change. But it has taught me a lot about being able to change. Where's your baggage? Keep your baggage light. Keep your mind light. Keep your willingness to move light. Do I like doing that? No, because I put a lot of investment into where we're at now. Okay. Do I really want to move? No, because it disrupts your creation. I've created all this stuff on my homestead, and I really want to enjoy it. However, if something else changes and it is not conducive for me to have that happy enjoyment of my homestead here, or go Chinese troops running across the land, something stupid like that, or it dries up and I don't get any rain, something crazy stupid like that, well, then maybe I do have to move again. And don't think that I wouldn't make that decision rapidly so as to minimize the difficulty in the change. The sooner you make the change in your thinking, the faster things manifest to keep you in a happy place. So let me take just a minute, because I'm coming up here on an hour, because I want to wrap this up. Let me simplify this. Let me simplify this in such a way that it should help all of you who've made it this far through the video actually make change in your life to what you want, regardless of the negative crap that you've dealt with. And that is this. You live in the now. What are you vibrating? What are your thoughts? What are you thinking about? If you don't like them, change it. It's pretty much just that simple. Now, there's a lot of nuances about it that we can't get in, in this simple conversation, but the point is this. What are you vibrating now? And then, to follow up, how do you feel about it? Because your feelings, your emotions, tell you whether you're in alignment or not. Because if you feel good, then you're in alignment with what you want to manifest. That means that the nice things that you want, that make you feel good. Do you feel good about what you're thinking? Think happy thoughts. What was it? The movie Pan with honey. What's his? Robin Williams. Robin Williams.
That was Hook.
Hook. Excuse me, Hook. Robin Williams goes back to Never Land, and he can't fly. Why couldn't he fly? Because he forgot to think his happy thought. Why aren't you flying in this world? Maybe because you're not thinking happy thoughts. Why is it that we're all attracted to what we're attracted to? What are we thinking? Are we thinking happy thoughts, or are we thinking horrible world goes to shit thoughts? You know, it's just that simple. It's really just that simple. But it is extraordinarily difficult if you have a whole lot of baggage back here in the back of your head that you're dealing with. Whole lot of baggage. You want to be happy now. You want to focus, and from the masters of this, they'll use the word focus. What's your focus? What are you focusing on? For me, my focus and T, our focus, because now together we got mastermind. We both want the same thing. That helps. It really helps when you have mastermind. And the more of you that can think, being in this different world, this different universe of happy, healthy, things growing, things living, things being healthy, the more of you that can focus on that, the higher mastermind we will all be. And this has been proven in experiments. You know, I've even mentioned the meditation one that took place back in the 70s, 80s, where a whole lot of people went in and meditated for a whole weekend in the District of Columbia, and that weekend they meditated love and peace, and crime went down like 80% that weekend, you know, or something like that. Maybe I'm exaggerating, but that was the point. We get what we think about. So for all of you that I love so dearly for being a part of my community with me and T, hopefully this can help you navigate, understanding now. You need to feel good about what you're thinking. And then you need to refine those thoughts into knowing exactly what you're going to manifest. Because if you don't have that figured out, then the universe is just going to keep giving you the same shit. Because you're not choosing anything new. So if you don't like where you're at, change something. Change what you're thinking. Change how you feel about it. And it's hard to do. Getting addicted to anger is very easy. People who have temper issues, they're always popping off because they have temper. People who love all the time always love all the time because that's the vibrational energy that they are in a habit of. You have to break habits. You have to break all these habits of what you're thinking about. And nothing will change until you do. So, this is with all the love that I can send to you as to what I have proven works. Things come into my world in ways I cannot even explain. Beautiful ways. Wonderful things. I get a thought about something, and I'm like, man, I really want that, and I would like it this way. I feel good, and then somewhere along there's a little thing that I gotta say or do. Sometimes all you gotta do is speak the right words in the right place. I mean, hell, we'll just give you an example, and I'll leave it with this. I give so many of you thanks. Huge thanks for helping me and T along the way realize our dream by the gifts you've given back to us for the knowledge we've shared. That return, that cycle of positive energy is incredible. And oh, by the way, thank you is the vibration of manifestation, because it means it's already there. When you say thank you, it means it has happened, and you are in appreciation for its existence. Thank you all for hanging with me over the years, being supportive, and helping me manifest my dreams. I hope what I've shared with you today will help you manifest your dreams wherever they may be. And for those who are still working on wanting to maybe come and be in the community, Maybe that happens. Or you make your community where you're at because you want the same thing too. We've been disconnected. We've been ripped apart and torn apart and lied to and cheated to, and it's time for us to make a change.